a kid, and obviously going to Phillies games and things like that. So I mean, it's a drag that they're tearing it down. But we have a kind of a repertoire for. After we play a place, they tear it down. We played like 3 nights at Wembley Stadium in London, and the next thing you know, it was gone. And we just did 92,000 people at Hyde Park because there was no stadium left to play in England. So what are we going to do? But we're just happy to be here in Philadelphia. Even as a kid, before I was in Bon Jovi, I'd come here and I'd play the clubs, and it was always such a great environment, and we went from playing the clubs to playing the vet last year. So, hopefully that's going to continue. And now, we own a football team, so it's a lot of fun.
Richie, how do you think this is going to appeal to a college crowd?
I don't know. I guess we'll have to see how that plays out and how that's going to be marketed. I have no plan in my head yet, but I think like the Philly Soul. I mean, that's got to be the coolest name ever in football. What are we going to do? Call the name of the Bobcats or something? Let's name the team about another animal.
Did you come up with that name?
No, actually, John did. Oh, and it just struck a note because obviously the correlation between music and what's happening with football and stuff like that. I mean, you think about it. I thought about it today actually. I don't know if you guys remember the Dire Straits video that had the NFL Films thing, and we were involved with the NFL after 9/11, and Paul Tagliabue was very, very, very nice to us and said, well, you guys got to get in here and do this, and we went, yeah. So it was like, thank you, Uncle Paul. Thank you. He was very good to us, and we became like the NFL poster boys for last year. But you only can do that so long.
You guys really did for a while there.
Yeah, no, they really took care of us. I mean, we the week after 9/11, we played in the Firehouse and opened up the NFL season. Remember when they kind of laid it back about a week after 9/11 happened? And Paul asked us to do that, and there wasn't a dry eye in the place. I mean, that was a very, very emotional moment. And then after that, we opened up the NFL season, and we played the Super Bowl after that. So, we're big sports fans.
But are you an arena football fan, though? It's one thing to be a fan.
Oh, man, let me tell you something. When you go see this game, if you dig football or if you dig athletics in general, it's such a quick game. It's such a fast game. There's so many attributes to it. I think that it's a family game. It's affordable. I think, my brother-in-law has 20 season tickets to the Avengers. So that's how I got turned on to it. And, Casey Wasserman, who is the commissioner of expansion in this league, is a friend of mine. He owns the Avengers, so we'll probably be rivals together. That's going to be, So that's kind of like how we started to talk about it and get into it. And then, obviously, David Baker and the commissioner of the AFL, we started to talk, and then we made the deal, and that's the way it came down.
When things aren't going well with sports teams in general, fans usually attack the ownership. But do you think that would never happen with you guys just because?
I mean, look, it's going to take us a while to get I think that the infrastructure that we've created already is tremendous with Coach Triggs and David Baker and everybody we got going on, our GM and the whole facility. The AFL is a lot different than the NFL. It's a whole different game, so now we have to get players. And I think if, we win here in Philly, I think it's going to be a great thing for the community. We're going to be involved in community service. So we're talking about, getting our players involved with a lot of community service and stuff like that. And I think that's a very, very important thing. Because you know what? In professional sports nowadays, there's not a lot of accessible heroes. It seems that they're like way up there someplace and you can't find them. And, everybody's talking about salaries and stuff like that. In the AFL, that's not what it's about. It's about people playing the game. The one bad thing is that as soon as you get a guy that does really good, the NFL steals him. But what are you going to do? That's where it goes.
Speaking of rivalries, we're talking about rivals. Would you like to see the Dallas Desperados come in for your first opponent on February 18th, the Eagles Cowboys?
We got to get our team together and see what's up. Right now we got one guy. So that's what we got to do. We have to wait for the draft to come around. And, there's a whole different draft system that happens in the AFL. And we're very involved with, seeing what's going on in this league. We're just excited to be here.
Everybody's here, obviously, because of you guys and the Bon Jovi name and stuff. And obviously they're all thinking, hey, you guys are going to sing the anthem every game. There's going to be a post-game concert. How involved is the band actually going to be, at least initially, in performance and playing?
Oh, are you kidding me? We'll be selling hot dogs. We'll be out.
Are you guys
selling hot dogs.
Are you going to have
this thing to happen? We're really, really dedicated for the whole thing to go down.
Your crew had on Philly Soul t-shirts at the Philly concert.
Thank you, Richie.
How-
Appreciate your time.
You're welcome.
Take
You're welcome.
care.
How long was this under wraps for before you guys made it public?
We've been trying to put this together for a long time, you know, and obviously dealing with the league and the commissioner and everything like that, you know, it's an ongoing process, and you know, there comes a point where you have to think about not only the love of the game, but also the business part of the game and what it's going to do to, you know, taking time away from your career, taking time away from your family, and how much you love it and how you want to deal with it. And that, you know, so all of that became a part of it.
Sure, well, it's going to be great. Good luck with it.
Thank you very much.
When did you decide that you wanted to buy a football team?
Well, we spent too much time on planes together. You know, I think what happens when you tour the world as much as we did, and for 20 years, you know, you just kind of come up with cockamamie business ideas, but this is something that we love, you know. We're huge football fans, and it just seemed to be something that's kind of, you know, it was destiny for us, and let's see how far it goes.
So you're going to have cheerleaders, and when are the sign-ups?
You want to try out?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Well, I think we're going to have two sets of cheerleaders. We're going to have like a Foxy set, and we're going to have the kids. You know, we're going to have the little girls, like my daughter and stuff like that.
My daughter's cheerleader, too.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, so that's what, you know, that's what we're looking at. I think the great thing about arena football, like I said, it is very affordable, and I think that it's like people can take their families to the game and not like have to spend, like, you know, if you go to an NFL game now, you're going to spend like, you know, $300-400. That's not going to be what it is here.
Yeah, and you're going to help the community also.
Yeah, that's a very important part of what we're doing. We're trying to do an outreach program to the community, and that's, you know, that's just a way of us giving back, you know, and I think that's a part of, you know, I mean, the NFL does it in a United Way and all that stuff, and this is us, you know, this is local to us. I mean, we lived in Philly. We've made records here, and we've lived here, so we feel like it's not like we're not carpet bagging. You know what I mean?
Thanks so much.
How this came.